Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Tusk Talk 28. That is 28 weeks in a row, non-stop. But this one's a little bit different. This one's got a little bit of difference on it, and that's because it's a Thursday. But we're gonna pretend like it's a Friday, so I don't feel too bad. Because I really don't I like being timely. I like being punctual. So I apologize for having to miss out tomorrow. If you don't know, I am going to Chicago for 3 days. I will probably be deleting my Discord app on my phone. The only way that anyone will have access to me, hopefully, is through Top Gun Hatch. So hopefully that's all that's really needed. Day-to-day operations are pretty minimal for right now until Glacier and everything else gets started up. But there's a lot to talk about. I think we could probably fit it into 30 or 45 minutes, depending on the questions. If anyone has questions, feel free to ask. But realistically, I just want to kind of update the community on this one. Not so much needing questions, but of course I'll answer them if needed. So obviously, last week we had sold out of our Walrus Anglers Club, which is amazing. It's been an amazing feeling to sell out of our first phase one in one of the worst market conditions that crypto's seen quite yet. And I'm sure that we're not through max pain yet, but I know that we're near the bottom. I think so. I think that once the FTX dominoes fully fall, that I think we start seeing Powell and his friends start easing out the BPS, and seeing that inflation is coming down any points is amazing. So obviously I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Those are things that I read off Twitter, but just wanted to sound smart real quick. But realistically, the market is looking a hell of a lot better in terms of what just happened, but I still think that we see another fall. Everybody's calling for Bitcoin 10K. Hopefully it does. We're in this really pivotal opportunity that everybody wants to be in, but no one truly knows what it takes to be here. Everybody, when they see 69K Bitcoin, they didn't want to believe that it could ever go down, and they all wish that they bought earlier. But whenever it gets down and it hits the 15Ks, everybody's like, oh man, what if it drops lower? And then they stall, and then it goes to 14K. What if it drops lower? And so on and so forth, until eventually you never catch the bottom. So DCA is always the best strategy if you're an investor and not a trader. So I hope everybody's surviving the market. I am doing some degenning myself, and I never really do it. So I'm just testing the water so that I can be best positioned to open up some leverage longs when I feel comfortable entering the market with more capital. So who knows? But yeah, that's what your fearless leader's doing right now, is doing leveraging. So I'll be broke pretty soon. But yeah, so some things to touch up on. Walrus Anglers Club, I just sent Sean all of the funds to purchase all 20 miners whenever China wakes up and is ready to accept the payments, so that we can get the official order in for the next 9, and hopefully get them in for December like we want it. And I think that's possible. Sean probably knows a little bit more, but I think we're both on the assumption that we'll get them in December. And if we don't get them in December, it's not because of our order time. It's more so because they're delaying it on the miner, whoever creates the miners. So that's what I have to assume. The next thing, order of business for Walrus Anglers Club specifically, is discuss, do we want to purchase more KA3s Do we want to pivot and use something more stable in this market, because all of the ASICs are probably down with Bitcoin and everything else crashing over the last couple days? We could pivot into Litecoin with the L7s. Regardless of what it is, that's what me and Sean have been discussing before we open up the doors for phase 2. So likely a week and a half or a week, whenever we're ready, and I know that I can make some marketing videos and do some things like that. But I still have a lot of interest in people that are wanting to OTC even right now. So I feel very comfortable that phase 2 is going to go really well. Hopefully it sells out faster than phase 1, but even if it doesn't, the phase 1 holders will still be susceptible to those mining rewards regardless. So if you're a phase 1 holder, congrats. You will be profiting off of those 20K A3s. So you've got a lucrative NFT, some of you more than others, but all together, I am very, very happy with... Hold on a second. My chat's not working. How dare they? It shows that it's working, Tampa, but it's not showing. Very interesting. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's it for Walrus Anglers Club. A lot of cool things being done there, and I'm very excited for it. I think that it's going to do really well, and I think more time in the market, these prices will hopefully go up for all the current NFT holders. We actually have like 25 AVAX volume on Alpha Shares, which if you're not trading on Alpha Shares, you should be, because Alpha Shares actually works with me a lot, and they are a very good service that's doing some pretty big things. I'm going to try and do some co-marketing with them. Let's see what the volume is. Yeah, 25 is the new floor price, and we have about 20 AVAX traded right now, so that's pretty cool. Nobody's really selling. Wow. There's only 3 listed out of 2,500. I think there's like 5 or 6 listed on NF Trade, so nobody's really wanting to sell. We have 313 owners. Not so savvy, yes. To your question, does the 6-month compound timer start the day the miners go online? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Dylan, how you feeling? Dylan's a little down, guys. Dylan's he's a little sick.
That second nap helped a lot.
Yeah, I've always heard that if you just nap the entire day when you feel like you're going sick, the next day you'll feel remarkably better.
Dose up. Take a nap. It ain't Rona, Johnny.
You ever heard of Rona? You ever heard of robo tripping?
Yes, I've done that.
For you folks that don't know, robo tripping is when you down a whole bottle of Robitussin, and apparently it has psychedelic effects.
You when I did it, me and you remember Jared?
Yeah. Didn't y'all throw up or something?
We synced it. Yes, I did afterwards. But we synced up Dark Side of the Moon, the Pink Floyd album, to Wizard of Oz on mute, and it syncs up perfectly.
I guess that's one way to live a life.
I was in high school, so
let's see what else.
We all do shit in high school.
Let's see the last 2 days. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've been non-fucking stop. Dylan can probably attest to it. I've been in, because for some reason for me, I feel like if I'm gonna take 3 days off, I better work those 3 days before the 3 days off. I think that's part of me, just like how I work and my work ethic. So I've been doing a lot on the back end for Glacier, actually, and I've been discussing stuff legally, employment retention, employee contracts, a lot of the nitty gritty that you guys probably don't care about, but I just want you all to know, like, the framework that's being built, whether to LLC or to leave it open. And then also, if we do LLC it, it comes with a lot of legal liabilities with securities, which of course we wouldn't be listing any securities. We would only be listing commodities like Walrus. And let me say that again, Walrus is a commodity. And everything that we would list would be a commodity at that point. And that's the main thing with launching a DEX and having an LLC here in Kentucky. I just had to have my P's and Q's in order. But I feel really confident with the conversations I've been having with a lot of different people. It's a lot, and it's a lot of things that I don't know and I'm not comfortable with, but I have so many good people around me that have been coaching me through it. Special shout out to Radiant Lost, who has been a huge friend that I talked to for a couple hours the other night. He's a huge Walrus English Club investor, but extremely, really good person. And we had a really good conversation. I think he feels the same, but maybe he doesn't. Who knows? Maybe I'm that annoying guy. But yeah. So I talked to them. Me and Owen have been talking a lot about some other things that we had to do. And the best thing is that we have the same designer that built the Frozen Walrus website that will start designing the Glacier website here in the next week. So we'll have logos and everything. But one of the big things that I want is a very big marketing lead. Someone that really can bring us to the blue chip, and that means in our tweets, in our communications, in our Medium articles, and expanding the team in that way so that I'm comfortable that I know that we can put out high level, high engaging tweets that aren't just memes or competitions. They're more snapshots of what Glacier does different than other dexes, what Glacier does and offers in the AVAX market, and puts it at a high level of thought, and is able to break down in like 5 or 6 tweets every couple of weeks, or every week, every couple of days, every week. I don't know yet, but is able to produce tweets that give you informative information and really bring that blue chip aspect to our protocol, because I think it is a blue chip, especially with what is offered on AVAX and what we are trying to bring to AVAX. And the more that I dig into Glacier, I'm sinking my teeth into one area, and then there's like 5 or 6 things that pop up, and I'm like, well, I have to handle this too. And so it's like this spider web that keeps branching out. And of course, I still want a product. And so I'm just like hiring at scale. So if you're interested and you think you have the credentials to be someone that can market for Glacier and to do those things that I've asked, reach out to me. We are, I will hire as many people as I need to make it successful. Now there's going to be some experience needed. I'm not going to let somebody that's just started marketing for Web3 come in and work on this. It's going to be a big position. You would have to have experience in it prior. But if you want to dip your feet in Web3, this could be your opportunity. So reach out to me. If you're listening or you're here live, we could definitely use some help. But either way, I'll find someone. Yeah, the scope.
What about a full stack developer with years of experience in the industry and full knowledge of Web3? What's that scam post that gets posted all the time?
Who fucking knows? Yeah, we have plenty of. But anyway, the designer that made Frozen Walrus website is going to start working with me on logos and the entire web design. And hopefully we can really bridge the gap that I'm wanting with that synthwave. The synthwave is what I want really bad. And the thing is that we have to do it in a muted fashion, because realistically, whenever you get on the website, you cannot be detracted by a bunch of wireframing like our background on YouTube right now, or very flashy colors on certain aspects that will take your attention away from what the user actually engages with, which this designer is amazing at doing that. So I'm very confident that we can do it. But that's one of the things that I'm also working on. What else did I start working on with Glacier?
Any pool updates?
Of course, we have a framework for pools, just not anything that I am comfortable releasing. We've also kind of been hinting at like some narwhal updates about what we can do with narwhal and the future of narwhal, and everything involved with that, and kind of how Walrus will fit in the ecosystem, and what can its utility be that's not what Walrus offers, and what can Walrus offer in the future, and what kind of platform do we want to run for these tokens. So yeah, Glacier's going really well. I'm very excited about it. I even I started reaching out to Ava Labs and Avalanche team members. Now most of them are going to leave me on red, but I don't give up very easy. I've networked enough to know that some people just put that shit off. I've also been getting a ton of freaking DMs, man. So if I have not responded to you, I'm so sorry. I have just been stuffed with work for like 9-10 hours a day. And then by the time I actually, like, that's the problem that some people don't see, is that like I'll be done with my day, but someone international is just starting theirs. And to be available for every single person is very difficult. I try, but it does fall short sometimes. So I apologize if you've reached out and I've not been able to answer. I have been really stuffed with new things coming up and stuff. So yeah. We have a list of all of our VC funds. Actually, I have a Trello board full of things that I've been working on. So I should probably pull that up. Yeah, list of VC investors. I've been making a pitch deck. I've been making a pitch deck graphic that I started working on that I've got the good feeling for, but I just need to update the colors. Like I said, Twitter marketing hire, employee contracts, marketing and how we're going to be marketing, which will come with the Twitter and marketing hire, but marketing selection, audits, who do we want to audit our company, titles for everybody that's currently in Glacier that will be working on Glacier, speaking to Avalab, speaking to Avalanche, speaking to Chainlink, securing our lead dev, stuff that has been rolling and getting done at the same time. Of course, with Frozen Walrus, I've made hints of the tokenomics changes. What can we do with Narwhal? Potentially a walrus burn pit. Stopping emissions, is that a question or an answer? I don't know yet. Some kind of rebating system, a new rebating system maybe. Collateralizing maybe X Narwhal with Narwhal LP. And of course, Detonator once we launch. What if we launched with a different pairing other than Walrus? What if we did X Walrus and made it liquid in the Detonator? That would be really cool to me, because then that locks liquidity and we don't have to give any farm allocations because it's self-feeding. So anyway, it's kind of stuff I've been working on. What have you guys been doing? Dylan, what have you been doing? What the fuck you been doing, dude?
Nap.
This motherfucker over here napping. I just gave out 40 things I've done the last 3 days. Dylan over here talking about napping.
I won some money and some slots.
I gave him I knew it was a mistake giving you that shit. No, man, no. I know you're fucking spending too much money on that shit.
About to beat the Elite Four in Pokemon Black, getting ready for
you live in the
Scarlet
life,
and Violet next week.
We should have asked you that question. How does it feel to have your brother as a boss? How does it feel to work with your brother, Dylan?
It's pretty fucking nice.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I bet.
No, it's just, we're all just anxiously awaiting Glacier and stacking our X Walrus.
That's the thing, is like not only community members reach out to me, but all of these things like Walrus Anglers Club, Glacier, and this is not me complaining, I'm just like explaining some of the things that happen and why I'm not able to respond to everybody, is Walrus Anglers Club, Glacier, and Frozen Walrus. The middle ground on all three of those things is me, and it's all completely different, and a piece of that has to be delegated to me physically. And so, all of the questions come towards me from like a bunch of different team members and from every which direction. So I'm constantly switching gears, like every 30 minutes, every hour. I'm like, oh, okay, Owen wants to speak about this with Glacier. Okay, Jumpman needs, this with design. And then Sean and me have to discuss this for Walrus Anglers Club. And it gets to be a lot, for real. And that's something I'm getting much better at than if I was where I'm at now, like 10 months ago, I'd be freaking the fuck out. But you get used to it, I guess. maybe you got a third brother you could hire.
Walrus share just surpassed 2,200 rockets. We're at 2,202 right now.
Hell yeah. And honestly,
on deck screener.
Honestly, with this Black Swan event we just had from the FTX crash, Walrus and Walrus share are doing pretty good. Now, obviously, there's not a lot of volume, but there's no volume anywhere on any chain almost for most of these tokens that have been out for over 6 months. But nobody's dumping their Walrus share. Nobody's dumping their Walrus. There's not much Walrus to sell realistically. There is, but most people we found our dedicated holders, and we're meeting the demand of the market, and that's really nice. So it's kind of cool to see that. The entire crypto market dumped 20%, and Walrus shares down like 3.5%, 4%.
Saying we're up 1.42% on Walrus.
Yeah,
in the last 24
you really
hours.
can't complain about that. I have a community member that has a project that they're going to want to do an Ask Me Anything on my YouTube channel. So I will be facilitating that. It's a community member that you all know, and I think that he works really hard, and I liked his white paper. I could have charged him for it, but I'm really bad at charging people for things. So I'll probably not charge at all. But he has a really good project, and I think we have a partnership that we're announcing that you guys probably don't know about. It's a little bit of a Dylan will announce it later this weekend. But they're a really cool tune fork, and I think that it's good to have cross exposure to this chain. And I've vetted them the best that I can, and you guys know that I don't really work with a lot of people unless I've met with them and spoke with them, which I have. So yeah. Oh shit, my leverage short that I've had open for almost 6 hours is now up. Ladies and gentlemen, the market. Let's go.
They're talking about the night that the bank run happened, and they asked me anything when you went absolute meltdown mode.
Oh yeah, the speech that I gave.
So Ace said we should clip it and make it go viral.
We should make that our intro. We should
That'd
make
be a good one.
Tampa, dude. You should clip that and make that my intro. Make my eyes red or something. Why am I asking Tampa like I hired him?
Like he's your YouTube editor.
Like I fucking hired him, man.
You're a dick.
What an asshole I am. Tampa, you don't have to do that. I was just fucking around. Obviously, I paid him for the work he did on our beautiful layout that we have. Minus the chat box, which we'll get working eventually, which I can default it back, actually. Let's see if I can change it back. I'll disable custom code. And then maybe somebody type in the YouTube chat for me.
Don't restart it, for the love of Christ.
I don't know. This chat box widget is a fickle bitch. When was it? Man, it's got to be at least 2 months ago. When did we introduce X Walrus? It would have been It would have been the Ask Me Anything before we released X Walrus.
What? Are you talking about the
rant that I went on? Or not X Walrus, PCP.
Yeah. No, it was
It would have been like
would have been in August.
Was it August?
Yeah, I think
shit,
so.
Time's fucking flying, man. That's right, D-Money. I was not hiding. I was more front-facing then because I started doing daily Ask Me Anythings for a week straight, which is exhausting. Jesus, that is tough. Oh shit, Sean's going to Costco. Enjoy.
This is magical.
Oh, sweet. Tampa. Let me see.
Not so savvy wants to know what drives the price of an illiquid token. Does it even matter until if gets paired?
There is nothing that prices it. The only the pricing that we use is just a calculation based on the. It's just a calculation based on Walrus's price. It has no actual value. And the way that APRs work is not based on value of coins. It's just simply a display of how much Walrus share emissions are there, and then how much percentage of X Walrus do you own in that pool. So it doesn't really need any kind of. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Could this be where I'm supposed to put this shit? Will that work? Test again. No. It doesn't have that reset, Tampa, that you were talking about. Who knows? Who really knows?
We'll get it fixed. Okay, does anybody have any questions? It's not looking like it.
We might have us an easy one today. Like I said, I had the information that I wanted to present to you all. So Glacial is a farm token. What are some factors that will drive demand for it? Why would people want to buy, hold a farm token long term? I think Owen can speak a little bit more about this intimately since he designed a lot of the functions and features. But realistically, we're going to allow you to do things in the Glacier, web page and throughout that will offer different things. We may do partnership acquisitions where you're able to stake Glacier for partnerships or have a certain amount locked to get into a launch pad or get in early on some of these coins, or we are able to do different types of burn events, or things that can give you real monetary value, or maybe things that are just for more fun and engaging. Of course, Glacier is used as the governance token, and you're able to lock up into either the Alpha Glacier or the Delta Glacier pool, and then those will mainly be a huge locking mechanism of the supply, which of course exponentially goes down in how much is emitted per day. And then also the 90-10, the Alpha Glacier, and the 60-40 both have different burn mechanics in play. And that will also drive volatility into the token, because as token emissions go down and less are emitted a day, but the burn rate goes the same because of other things that we've given for utility, it should add for spurts of volatility and price action. But it is, obviously we can't say it's going to go up, and especially in this kind of market, it's great that we haven't launched yet, honestly. But it's very difficult to say, what the price will be or how it'll hold up or any kind of testament to that. But we are trying to allow things to be, useful with the Glacier token as far as utility can be done in DeFi. And hopefully we can find other fun and lucrative ways for you to use Glacier in the future. There's a million ways you can use a farm token, but realistically, the actual core function is that there is burn features built in. Of course, people are going to be locking through delegation and voting governance, and then also there will be things you can do where you can stake Glacier to earn X, Y, and Z. So those three things right there should do a really good job at doing not only as the supply drops and emits per day, but also just as I don't know where I was going with that, but realistically, the supply is going to be dropping every day and how much is emitted, and then the burn rate will stay pretty consistent depending on the volume, and that allows for a lot of volatility in the token and allows price to reset. Hopefully I answered your question, Minnesota.
You went on a rant there.
Well, it's a lot. It's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. Why another Discord for Glacier? Don't you think it would be best for both protocols to have another section in the Frozen Walrus Discord?
That's a really good question, Ethic, and I had answered it briefly before, but I think it's good that I touch on it through an Ask Me Anything. So thank you for asking it. The reason that I'm opening up a new Discord is that it will be uncomfortable to run two protocols in the same Discord, especially two protocols that are this different. The communities are going to be different no matter what we do. The exposure would be huge. I agree with that. But what we get in return is a gap in how many people we can accrue through Frozen Walrus Discord, because some people are going to be like, why would I join Walrus Discord for Glacier, right? It's almost like a put off, and it allows them to be separate entities. And I say that very often because I want them to be separate entities, but Frozen Walrus Treasury benefit from Glacier in some way. But they are standalone products, and the benefit to Frozen Walrus, at all is that we get to host our own liquidity. You all are going to be able to provide liquidity to Walrus, and we are able to do anything we want with that liquidity always. And so that's extremely powerful for Frozen Walrus. But by allowing a new Discord allows us to go full scale with it as its own protocol. And I think that's very important for you all to understand that we don't want any limitations in our way to make Glacier as big as possible. You guys are literally learning the inside and out of Glacier before people even hear about it. It's the biggest benefit to you all. Of course, Tusk Talks will happen every Friday on this Discord, and that's never going to change. I'll always have time for that, and my day-to-day task won't change. That's an important thing, is that I'm actually having Glacier Discord built. It should be up and running in about a week or two. And then you guys will get, obviously, first invites to that. We'll post it up in here. You'll see the new logo, see some of the documentation that we have, and honestly, there's a lot of things that we can do different with the Dex Discord comparatively to a Toon Fork Discord. We have to look at every avenue and make it as blue chip as possible. Exactly, Crypto Gamer. The thing is, one can't rely on the other's success. It just can't. It's really it's bad business. And so, separate Discords, as Walrus is going to be displayed as a core pool on Glacier. And so that is the benefit. The bigger that we can make Glacier, then, the bigger that we can make Walrus, in my opinion. Tom out here going through my old videos and shit, looking at my face. Look at the stress in that man's eyes.
God.
Look at the fucking stress.
That's a bad one.
I'm like, who the fuck sold?
It was everyone.
Fuck, I'm looking into somebody's fucking soul right there, dude.
Oh God, the 3 a.m. AMA after that was even worse. We were both fucking dog tired, man. Because I think I was still working then.
Yeah, it was a lot of work right then. It was a lot of work. Crypto Gamer, yeah, there wasn't a lot of people doxing in the space because the bull run people will put money in fucking anyone. And that's really when I made that mission statement. Like, everybody asked, what's the Glacier's mission statement? Just be a good protocol that has a dox leader that runs it like a business. Glacier is Dex, then Glacier will be the farm token for it, correct? Is there an ICO or anything? There is not an ICO. That is illegal for me to do, I think. Or there's a lot of stipulations that go with an ICO. What all can you do with Glacier? Yes, it is a Dex. Glacier will be the farm token. There is not an ICO, but there is a VC capital raise for Glacier, and you can read more about that by DMing me, and I can send you the documentation that we have for VC investors. It is a minimum of 25 grand, and that is for a reason, but it is a very high gap, and I can tell you everything that you'd be receiving. Let's see. And what can you do with Glacier? Kind of what I talked about. Obviously, it's not a Dex, it's a balancer style Dex. It uses the balancer tech where you're able to use multiple different weighted pools, up to 8 tokens in one pool. You'll be able to lock up your Glacier tokens in 2 separate pools, the Alpha Glacier pool and the Delta Glacier pool, and use them for different governance weights and vote on your favorite pools that you think we should boost. And once it's boosted, then everybody gets boosted yield. It's really fun. There's a lot of boost wars, and we're going to get protocols involved, hopefully, so they lock up more Glacier and constantly try and supply more Glacier so they can always keep their pools boosted. It's a really cool mechanic, and honestly, the tech's really great, and there needs to be something like this on Avalanche. There's a reason that it's been forked on Phantom, it's been forked on BSC, but there's a reason why there's not that many forks of it. What you all need to understand, if people are willy-nilly talking about doing a balancer Dex, let me tell you something. This shit is huge. Like, huge. Like 55 contracts. The front end uses Vue.js, which nobody fucking knows about. It's a massive undertaking. There's tons that goes into it. It's an undertaking that I had no idea. I was overwhelmed at first. Oh shit, Crypto Gamers got me on my early days. God damn. That was my first video, man. I was so nervous to do that video. Man, that was nerve-wracking to do. But people still say they use that whenever they were talking about Toon Forks. They use that video.
Yeah, I've sent that to quite a few people.
Yeah, Notorious. I mean, we have documentation that you can read about some of the things that we have currently released about what we're doing with Glacier, but there's going to be some more in there that I just can't really speak about right now. But obviously, mainly the main things you can do already with some of the other farm tokens you've seen, we're going to be offering, but we are going to try and add unique experiences to use your Glacier tokens with. Crypto gamer, I'll be honest with you. I told my fiance yesterday. I said I'm about to cut it off. It is. It is.
It's
Yeah,
not for the faint of heart, man.
I have really curly hair, and it's really difficult to manage without product, and I just don't feel like putting product in it most days, and so you might see me with short hair pop up once in a while. I think it's in official links. Dylan, is the docs in the official links for Glacier under Glacier 5?
Could be. You see. No. But it is in announcements here. I got it.
Hazy out here talking about, my whole family still makes fun of me for that bat that I faced for 2 hours, and I could have easily gotten rabies with it hissing and putting out echoes towards me. I mean, it had my number, and people laughed at me, but I was attacked by a bat. I was Batman for a day. Shit is scary.
Oh my god. Alright, official links have been updated.
There we go. We should have had that out earlier. I didn't know.
You made it in the announcements. It's in the official links now, though.
True, citizen.
All good.
Parents are still alive. Could you imagine if I just hit you with, nah, man, they're both dead? That would have fucking sucked for you. You would have felt awkward. But you're good. They're both alive. Speaking of X Walrus, I know that in this market, it's crazy to fight an illiquid market all around. I mean, seeing the blue chips that are on Avalanche are getting low volume. 56.76% of the supply. We're closing on 600 or 60%. Now it's important to know that can actually go over 100%. I'm just letting you guys know that it can go over 100% of the supply. And what you need to understand is there's a walrus strip farm that is putting out walrus, and I've sent that. I think I pinned it. That there is some walrus from that. There's only like 400,000 still locked up, so all 900,000 isn't locked up. Obviously some has been given back, but as it cycles back into X Walrus, if we continue to compound it, then more gets burnt because X Walrus goes up in price, and thus a positive feedback. But by no means is it just going to stop at 100. Realistically, what we need to see is the burnt amount continue to rise. But still, it's an awesome metric to see 60% of our entire supply. If we get to 100%, I'm going to get extremely excited that we cycled 100% of walrus through X Walrus contract. I mean, that's insanity. But still, it's really cool. I like it a lot. I think X Walrus was one of the best things that we ever implemented.
I think so too. Much better than that contract with 3 letters that I will not talk about.
True.
We've got a taping in 20 minutes. We got 2 podcast episodes tonight.
2.
We're doing the NFP tonight. Non-fungible program.
Ain't Steve on that? My God, let me fucking log off.
No.
Y'all gonna have me working till fucking 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight?
No, it's another 30-minute show. And he has got a hell of a list to talk about, though. Interesting.
Not so savvy. That is the plan, sir. It is an extremely good fee revenue model. Does Saint have a?
He did. He was the one that chose me on the podcast last night, so he got his NFT roll today.
Does he need to verify his NFT? Or does he get the VIP?
No, I just give it to him.
Oh, did you give it to him already?
Yeah.
All right.
But where he's a Walter's assistant, it's under that on the rolls.
Yeah, our Discord, the Glacier Discord, is being made by someone that, obviously knows security practices for Discord. The security is going to be a lot higher than it probably is at Frozen Walrus. The layout will be different. The bots will be different.
I am going to be coming up with new roles for the Glacier Discord. If you guys have any suggestions or ideas, please DM them to me. I was kind of leaning towards, obviously, like another Frozen theme, but I'm thinking instead of Elon Tusk, we should have something similar to this for Mr. Hillbilly. Just got to figure out how to make it into a clever roll title. I'll figure something out.
Hazy said massive Phallusberg. Interesting. Let it go. Yeah, I tried resetting everything, Tampa. I don't see that. Yeah, I've tried going through and resetting it. I just reset cache of current page. Did that do anything? Let's see. Always show messages.
We've had so much fun with the rolls in Frozen Walrus.
Yeah, dude, we have. Let me see how many rolls we actually have.
It's
actually insane.
Fuck time. It is a fuck time.
Yeah, there's so many fucking rolls. Holy shit. But the cool thing is we are going like cyan, bright yellows, bright cyan, bright pink. We're gonna go synthwave on like the actual color scheme. The OBS.
Yeah, if you guys want to, we'll definitely have the Frozen Walrus, OG roll. Probably won't have as many animal names.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I love seeing all this. Like, whenever I first opened the Discord, I was like, man, it'd be so awesome to have a bunch of roles that people, like, engage with. And, like, look at where we are now. Like, 5 months later, we have, like, over 30 roles that many people hold from all different walks of life. And it's just, like, we always really do have an active Discord. And it's always, like, different color, names. And it's just really cool. I like it. I enjoy that. And that's what I've always dreamed about having. That and also selling out an NFT collection. That and also working full-time in crypto. I'm knocking off my bucket list out here, boys and girls. I was thinking, I never leave the house. It's almost to the point now that I'm almost anxious to leave the house, and I hate that because I want to travel, I want to do things, but it's almost anxiety-inducing to like leave the fucking house because like I'm so comfortable here. But I realistically know that obviously my fiance wants to go places sometimes.
I've spent the bulk of my money over the last 30 years on things that require me to not be bored at my house. Game systems, computers, books.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
Out there. There's just nothing out there I need. It's all right here. I got a fucking movie theater screen in my basement, Like, I don't have to go to the movies anymore. But I did go to the movies last week twice to see the One Piece movie, and it was very much worth it. All right, I am going to go upstairs and get some water before we start and take some more medicine. So
well, go ahead. I'll turn you off. I'm going to stay on for just a little bit longer.
All right, I will post the summary and the questions I've got. All right, I will see all the NFT holders at the podcast taping, and obviously I'll still be in the chat. Previous AMAs is updated. All right. Night, guys.
So, Tom, by the way, to answer that, I'm on OBS, and I'm not on OBS. I'm on Stream Elements, and I don't have anything that allows me to reset the OBS source cache. The only thing I have in the chat box widget is refresh cache of current page. Minnesota, I do love deep dish pizza. I love pizza in general, with ranch, a lot of ranch. But the last time I went to Chicago, which is about 5.5 hours away from us, so obviously I don't get to travel there very often. I really like, I think they have amazing food there, so I'm kind of interested. Like, I don't eat a lot of like different foods. So yeah, my fiance is half Indian, and so her father is Indian, and he cooks authentic Indian dishes. So that's like the most exotic cuisine that I really eat, but I love it. But yeah, it's really good. Something like this for your YouTube background. I hate leaving my house. It's where all my stuff is. True that. But seriously, I leave to work and then come home, and basically that's my life. I dislike leaving and dislike being around lots of people these days. Yeah, me too, man. I didn't used to be like this, but when I was drinking, which I'm 4 years sober, obviously now, but I didn't care where I was, obviously, because like it was just about drinking. But now it's like I go out in public and I'm like, ugh. I don't know. Like when I go out in public, it's almost like people are fake, man. Like they're just like fake people. I don't know how to explain it, but like everybody's so boiled down. Like there's so many people you come in contact with that like have no forward thinking or intuition, and they're just like, I don't know, like fucking blank slates, and it's like impossible to communicate with people like that. Yeah, that's so true, Cass. Have you considered being a WebSocket provider like Infura and Anchor for peeps that want to run their own flash swap arbitrage? I have no idea about any of those words you just said. Not so savvy, but I'm always willing to learn. That sounds really interesting. Notorious, very true. Yeah, I really hate it because like, you know, I wanna take my fiance out. I want to go show her off. I love her, but it's difficult for me to find motivation. Yeah, El Chavo. It's like when I'm on Discord, like I meet so many authentic and real people. Obviously, I don't get to meet them in person, but like most people I engage with, like have real relatable stories and like goals, and they got into crypto for this or that, and it's very interesting to me. But like most people that I come in contact with here in Kentucky are very closed-minded, very simplified overall, and it's difficult to start a conversation, especially with me. Like even at my old job, like, you know, I was thinking about doing this for 5 years. You know, I've been wanting to do something for myself and not work the corporate grind and just, you know, get to 65 and retire, get my knee surgeries and hope I can walk and not ride a golf cart 24/7 with the $250K that wasn't robbed from me from my 401k. And I know that's a bit of a rant, but it's very true for a lot of people. And yeah, so it's very hard to relate because there's not a lot of people that want to take that risk. That's what I say a lot, is that there's people that I knew from my old job, and I'm on a bit of a rant here, but I'm gonna get it to an hour, boys and girls. But there's people from my old job that wanted to leave, but they just wouldn't, and they don't even have a family to feed. I put real risk on the table and went for this shit because I didn't, you know, I saw more for myself, and really, it's not about even the risk that most people don't take. To me, I think it's about the comfortableness of having a job that someone else pays you and tells you what to do. That's what a lot of people can't get past. It's really hard to do it, and a lot of people think that you can just half-ass it and start doing this and then doing something else. Realistically, if I was doing crypto half the time and then like my job half the time, I would have suffered in both. And I was just given an opportunity, which it really wasn't an opportunity. It was just, if I didn't do this, realistically, I'd be at a factory working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, doing the same shit over and over and over again that most people do in this town specifically, and get paid much less and hate my life much more. And to me, it was an easy choice because I value my time. I value my time with my kids and my family. But yeah, it's something that you have to do for yourself if you want to take that risk. And I always say this, like, if you think that you can't do it, you're wrong, man. You know, I don't have a college degree. I don't have anything. You know, I don't have anything that nobody else has. And most things are like that. Most career paths are like that. You don't need to know anything. Humans are able to learn amazing tasks just by doing. It's uncomfortable, but you can do it. But that's what a lot of people don't talk about when they say, like, I'm self-made and stuff. They don't tell you that. They don't say that it's not about the risk. It's about learning to be uncomfortable and that being okay. But yeah, if I'm ranting, let me know. True that, El Chavo. Except my fiance's upstairs can probably hear me because I talk loud. But yeah, man, I and that's why I try and help so many and push it forward. You know, obviously some of this was luck for what I've landed into, and it's still a struggle. I'm not by any means a made man, but I still always try and pay it forward. I try and help people that are trying to do good things and want this career path, and I let people know up front that the risks are very real, especially, you know, but you got to think with crypto, it's a beautiful thing because you like brick and mortars, for example. Brick and mortars come with a ton of legals, and they also come with a ton of overhead and a ton of capital needed. You right now can go code shit yourself and learn it online. in probably a month, 2 months, 3 months, realistically, and become a protocol lead and really lead people to invest in your protocol with absolutely no upfront cost. You got to think, I went full time. I have a $1,200 mortgage. I spend about $3,500 a month with me and my 3 kids and my fiance. And I had $3,000 in savings and 2 months of no mortgage payments. I had to make it work. You find a fucking way, guys. You always do. If you want it bad enough, you find a way. It is a sermon, Mad Walrus. I'd like to say it's courageous, but I think it's because I have a risk tolerance that's broken in my head. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I know what that feeling's like that most people go through because I had it. Like, I was working at FedEx for 7 years. I was doing labor because I thought that's all I could do. You kind of get blocked out. You kind of put blinders on to like the opportunities outside of that industry because it becomes your day-to-day life. Like, you make friends at work, you settle into work, and it becomes a comfortable thing, even though you hate it. You know, we're all beings of repetition at nature, and yeah, so it's one of those things that I think there's more at play there than just saying, oh yeah, anybody can do it. I mean, anybody can do this, but it's real. You need to be realistic. Some of it's luck, some of it's, you know, hard work. True that. Kentucky is boring, but almost every state is probably. Like, if I lived in Arizona or fucking California, I'd be, you know, saying the same shit. Yeah, Crypto Gamer. I think that's part of it too, is like, you know, not to brag, but there's an intuition factor where I've been able to pick up things and learn it, because there's like, in my head, intuition means that you learn the right questions to ask very fast. And I also have this thing where I'm able to communicate with people very openly, without saying everything or laying out all my cards, and I was able to position myself very different. And I always come in a place from learning, and I never think that I know more than I know. I'm very open with you all. If I don't know something, I don't know it. And you all responded very well to that, because I think the crypto market needs people like that. The crypto is the male version of the female menstrual cycle. The emotional ride unites us. Very true, man. Our cycles are synced. The markets control us. The markets are synced. God damn, that's good. Put that on a fucking t-shirt at this point. But yeah, my rant's done. I hope you guys enjoyed that for the last little bit. But regardless, I'll end it here because I do have some podcasts to do. If you don't remember, I'll be off the next 3 days. I'll try and reach out to everybody when I get back. Special thanks to my mods. I've already showed them some appreciation today, but I don't say it enough how much work they do and how much I'm appreciative of them being able to take some of the task off my list on the day-to-day. And Saint, I have not, because I never closed my position. I was up like 100% on a leverage trade yesterday, but I did not close it. So I lost money. I probably lost a couple thousand, but the pain feels good. But it's okay. I don't play with money I can't lose. But yeah, special thanks to you all in the community for believing in me and saying all the nice things about me and being excited for me to leave, which is really cool. Thank you guys, and I will be back. I am taking a full mental break for the next 3 days. Gonna try and enjoy the real life. So I hope you all enjoy your weekend. Do something positive and help some people out. I think we have a charity thing going on with Cardinal House pretty soon that Frozen Walrus is going to be involved in, where there's like $3,000 worth of prizes, which is really cool. I'm very happy for that. So we'll put some more details out about that later. Yeah, but anything else, just reach out this weekend. I probably won't reach out back to you until like Monday. But hopefully we can get more information on Glacier, and I can get you a logo and a new Discord soon, and we can start pushing it out to the masses and make it big. So enjoy your weekend, touch some grass. This market's brutal. and I really do love you guys, genuinely. Thank you all for following me, and have a good weekend. Good night, guys.